Alright, what's going on everyone? Today we have another tournament report because I recently participated in an MTG Melee tournament and I have to tell you about it because it was pretty ridiculous. So the tournament was called the Brawl Lyceum, a monthly-ish tournament held by a streamer by the name of RatsRallying7. The format was Tiny Leaders Brawl, which is... wait, what is Tiny Leaders Brawl? It's not a real format. It's not a real format. So the idea is it's standard brawl, right? Standard brawl. You can pick any planeswalker or legendary creature as your commander as usual, but your main deck can only contain cards with converted mana cost 3 or below. Now that might sound like you're playing with a bunch of underpowered cards, but there are a lot of ways around this. You know, you get to play Kroxa and Uro, you get to play Hydras, you get to play Hydroid Crassus, stuff like that. So anyway, it's a format that doesn't really exist, right? This isn't a real format, so there's no way to just Google Tiny Leader Brawl decks. They don't exist. It's not a thing, which is kind of the point, because this community is driven by brewing. It's a very brew-centric group, so the entire point is to force you to brew your own deck. You can't just copy-paste something, and that's all fine and good, but the real problem for me was that I decided to join this tournament and build my deck literally hours before the deck lists were due. That may have been a mistake. So technically the day before, I decided, you know, what the heck, let's try this tournament, it's free. But I didn't brew my deck that day. It was the next day that I decided, let's just build a deck. I mean, there are prizes, it's free entry. Technically you have to be a subscriber, but I got gifted a subscription, so it's practically free. So why not? I'll just throw something together, play. If I go 0-2, that's totally fine. The other problem is that I know nothing about Brawl or Commander. I know nothing. I've never built a Brawl or Commander deck. I mean, technically, I built a Brawl deck for like the F&M event, but I built that in like 2 minutes, and I just grinded a couple games to get the free cards and whatnot, but I've never actually like built a deck with the idea of actually playing it in a tournament. However, it just so happens that a couple days before I decided to join the tournament, I watched a Commander Clash episode. It was the viewer submitted decks episode, and in that episode they frequently complained that Corvold is completely broken as a commander. I mean, it's basically a 5 mana 5/5 flyer because you have to sacrifice something and then it gets a counter when it comes into play, and what makes it so good is you can't deal with it without the person drawing a card, so you always get value out of it no matter what. And if it goes unanswered for a couple turns, then it's just insane. So it's like, that seems fine. I don't know anything about Brawl, I don't know anything about Commander, but a broken commander sounds good, so Corvold it is. So I opened my arena client, I made a Brawl deck with Corvold, and I did what any competent brewer would do. I filtered my cards by mana cost for the Tiny Leaders restriction, and then I typed the word sacrifice and just started adding all the cards. Literally, that's what I did. Any card I see that's good, I add. This one's good, that one's good. Hey, this is a good card, that goes in. Hey, this one's good too, right? Sure, and it goes. And oh hey, nice, that's legal. Fantastic, and it goes. So I just add cards, and I add cards, and I add cards, and I'm not thinking about synergy other than, hey, this sacrifices stuff, or hey, this cares about sacrificing stuff, or hey, this triggers when I sacrifice stuff. Then I just throw all the sacrifice cards in a deck. But eventually I run out of good cards to add, so I do the same thing for words like return, adventure, because value, tokens, dies, and destroy. And that's it. There you go. That's the deck. I built it in approximately 15 minutes or so. I did refine it a little bit over the course of another few minutes, and after like 20 minutes, this is my deck. This is my Tiny Leaders Brawl deck. Built it in like 20 minutes. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. So, tournament day comes around, and I'm not really expecting much, right? I'm just expecting to have a fun time, you know, play a couple games, and mostly, I'm just hoping not to get matched up against Buddha Fashion, because I'm pretty sure we're on opposite ends of the spectrum here. Buddha Fashion has a reputation for playtesting with literally anyone who asks in the Discord. I mean, the thing with this format, right, is there's no way to test your deck. There's no way to grind games and refine your deck. You have to play against other people in the community. It's not like you can go on Arena and play Tiny Leaders Brawl. That's not a thing. So you have to go into the Discord and play against other people, and Buddha Fashion has a reputation of like always being there, not always, like literally always being there, but if you want to test and Buddha Fashion is around, ask him, he'll probably test. And that seems really cool, right? Like that seems really nice. Like, holy crap, this is a cool dude who's helping people out, helping everyone test their deck out, but no, see, I'm on to him. Nuh-uh. See, he's giving giving the impression that he's helping everyone, but what he's really doing is he is accumulating all the knowledge about this format because no one knows anything about it. He's getting the most games in, he's seeing everyone's deck, he's refining his own deck the most. I know you're the Tiny Leaders Brawl mastermind. You can't fool me. I'm on to you, Buddha Fashion, if that is your real name. So anyway, I don't want to play him. Don't want to. And as an added bonus, he's the only other person in the tournament who registers Corvold as his commander. Now this does give me some hope. The person who has played the format the most and who probably has the most knowledge about it picked the same commander as me, so I'm onto something, right? But what's scary is I look at his deck and holy crap, is it completely different than mine. It's nothing the same. So on one hand, that's cool. I picked a commander that's probably good, but also Buddha Fashion probably refined his deck more and he ended up at a very different place. So yep, not sure how this is gonna go, but maybe it's fine so long as I don't get matched up against him. So anyway, the tournament starts and I get my round 1 opponent, and I'm not playing against Buddha Fashion. Instead, I'm playing against Niv Mizzet. 5-color Niv Mizzet? Oh, so naturally at this point, I'm kind of afraid for my life because I haven't been matched up against just anyone. I've been matched up against a madman. 5-color Niv Mizzet and Tiny Leaders Brawl. What the heck is this tournament? What's happening? I'm in the madhouse. Someone help. I don't trust anyone here. So the game starts and my hand has cards in it, so I keep it. We both play some tap lands and I get a Goose Down on turn 2. They play Clothis, which hopefully obliterates any false idea that this format is going to be a bunch of weak creatures bumping against each other, because holy crap, it's Clothis. I get an Arcane Signet, so I'm ramping crazy hard into my commander, so that's cool. I play a Fiend Artisan, because why not? On my opponent's turn, I read Clothis because I never remember what it does. They play the Royal Scions, which is just, what is this? They're playing a god and a planeswalker and Tiny Leaders. What is this format? It's madness. Anyway, they draw, discard, and pass. I draw Bedevil, which conveniently kills the planeswalker, but I mean, we just have to run our Corvold out, right? So I cast him, sack the food token, get a counter, draw a card. I ping the Scions because why not? They play a Paradise Druid, then make me sacrifice an artifact, so there goes my Arcane Signet, but conveniently that triggers Corvold because it's still a sacrifice, so I get an extra counter and I get to draw, and look at that, a Command Tower, which perfectly replaces my Arcane Signet. Convenient. They draw with Royal Scions, discarding a Growth Spiral, which is banned. That's illegal. But in this format, I guess it's okay, fine. I draw an Oven, which technically isn't banned. I mean, I don't have Cauldron Familiar. I don't know what you're talking about. I play the Command Tower. I think about it a bit and decide I'll kill the Royal Scions with the Murderous Rider, just in case the artifact removal on Bedevil is relevant later. So I cast Murderous Rider, and I click... No, wait, guys, I've literally, pause this. I've never done this. I've literally never done this. I have never clicked the wrong side of an adventure card before. Not once. What a scam. What is this? This is literally the first time I have ever done that on Arena. Why now? Well, fortunately, I have plenty of removal, so instead I kill it with Eliminate, which works just as well, but it's just kind of awkward. Opponent must be really weirded out that I just played my Murderous Rider and then cast Eliminate. I don't know, it was a mistake. I've never done that before, but whatever. I attack with Corvold and decide to ditch the Murderous Rider because I'm salty about it, and it makes it look like I totally did that on purpose. Yeah, I was just, guys, I was just playing the Murderous Rider to sacrifice the Corvold, obviously. Why else would I play it? Duh. I draw Mayhem Devil, I get a counter, I hit the opponent down to 18, and I pass. They exile my Signet and drain 2 with Clothis, and then they play Niv Mizzet, and it's time to wait with bated breath to see just how terrible this is about to get, because Niv Mizzet is insane. Fortunately, they only get 2 cards, so that's we dodged a bullet there. They do get Clarion and Tyrant Scorn though, so those are pretty good. I draw Omen of the Forge, so I cast Bedevil to blow up Niv Mizzet. Then I cast the Omen of the Forge to blow up the Paradise Druid, making Niv Mizzet harder to recast. I attack with my 2 creatures, sack the Omen I just played, draw a card, get a counter, hit my opponent down to 11 and pass. Corvold is absolutely insane, holy crap. they exile Eliminate, drain for 2, they Clarion to kill my smaller creatures, then they Tyrant Scorn to bounce Corvold, which is totally lame, but whatever. I return it to my hand, I draw a fancy ass forest, replay Corvold, and sacrifice a swamp, get a counter, draw a Traveler's Amulet to replace the land I just sacrificed, so once again, very convenient. I also play Cindervines just because, and I pass. Opponent exiles Fiend Artisan, drains for 2, then plays Assassin's Trophy to kill my Corvold, which is just super not cool, but they take some damage from Cindervines, I get a land, and Corvold goes to the command zone. My turn, I draw another land, I have enough mana to pay for a 1-drop and replay Corvold, so I play Oven, and they counter that, which is slightly annoying, but I still replay Corvold, sacrifice a land, get a counter, draw a card, get Thrashing Brought to Dawn and pass, they drain for 2, play Croxa, I discard Pulsa Marasa because Klothys is eating away at my graveyard, so I have no good targets anyway. They put Giganta into their hand, but they're tapped out now, so I go off. I cast Mayhem Devil, Woe Strider, attack for 5, sacrifice the goat, the devil deals a damage, I draw a card, get a counter, I get an Omen of the Dead, so that's pretty cool, but then I look at my graveyard and remember that there's nothing there, but they go to 8 and I pass, they drain for 2, they play an Arcane Signet, which deals a damage to them from Cindervines, and then they play this Kunorus, whatever this dog thing is, but then they just give me the good game and they concede. Wow. I still don't know much about Brawl or Commander, but Corvold's, I think Corvold's good, guys. I mean, it seems good. That seemed pretty good. That seemed kind of insane, actually. So, go me, I guess. I didn't really do much other than just play Corvold and draw lots of cards and hit with a giant Corvold, but it's a win. So there isn't much time between rounds. It's a very small tournament. There's like 16 people, something like that. I'll leave a link to the tournament page so you can actually see. I don't remember how many people there were, but not very many. But it's a small tournament and we're playing best of 1, so literally like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops. After my game ends, I get the next round pairing. This time I'm playing against the Feather deck, and Feather is the magic card equivalent of like the Human Centipede. Everyone's heard of it, but no one actually knows what happens because most people haven't seen it, and the fan base is insane. If you insult the Human Centipede, they'll find you, man, and they'll do weird stuff to you when you're sleeping. And the same is pretty much true for fans of Feather. So, yeah, Feather's great, guys. Yep, sure. I'm totally a fan. Please don't find me. Anyway, the game starts and I have all 3 of my colors, so I guess it's fine. I play a turn 1 Cauldron Familiar, which is illegal, except not really. It is a bittersweet moment because it makes me long for the days that it was in Standard, like 2 weeks ago. So long ago. Cauldron Familiar, you did nothing wrong. They play a tap land and pass, and I do the same, but I get to deal a damage with a cat because clearly it's just too good for Standard. They play another tap land, sort of, and turn 3 I play a Midnight Reaper. They crack their Passage, which sounds kind of kinky. They shock my Reaper, so I lose 1 and draw a card. Attack for 1 and pass. They play Electrostatic Field, which is going to ping me for 1 damage every single time they play an instant or sorcery, which they're going to do a lot of because of Feather. So on my turn, I play Cindervines, which is going to deal 1 damage to them whenever they play the same spells. So I mean, hey, fair is fair, right? We're both going to be taking damage every time they play all their spells. So our life totals are going to drain like crazy. They play Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is pretty nice. On my turn, I could play Corvold, but I don't really want to sacrifice anything. So I just play Chandra instead, and it's not really worth getting tokens since they'll only get 1 damage in anyway, so I just tick her up to protect her for a turn, because next turn I want to put tokens into play, then play Corvold and sacrifice 1 of the tokens. They play Jaya's Greeting to kill my cat, which seems like a weird way to greet a cat. It triggers both of our things, so we both take 1 damage. Our life totals are not long for this world. They play Feather on their turn, but much like the Human Centipede, I've heard of it, but I don't really know what's going to happen. They hit Chandra for 1, then cast Shock to deal a damage to each of us, and 2 damage to Chandra. My turn, I draw another land, which is starting to look like way too many lands, but now I can get elemental tokens. Then I cast Corvold, sacrifice 1 of the tokens for free value. I get a counter, I draw a card. It's not a land, but I mean, it's close enough to make me salty about it. So I scry with a Temple, see a Fiend Artisan, and now I'm extra salty because I should have done that before playing Corvold. They play Feat of Resistance, triggering our things, our life totals go down some more, and the Arcanist gets a counter. I didn't attack with the token because they could just block, so at the end of turn, I just sacrifice it to get the draw. And see, isn't Chandra great with Corvold? I mean, basically, if you can't attack with the tokens, you get to draw 2 cards and get 2 counters. So he goes to a 6/6. I draw the Fiend Artisan. They attack, cast Gaia's Breeding off the Arcanist. We take some damage. I choose not to block because their deck is full of pump spells and I just don't trust that. And they cast one because I don't know what Feather does. So, right, I didn't block because of that, totally. I knew that was gonna happen. We take some more damage, then I take some more damage, then they cast Light Up the Stage. We both take some more damage. Cindervines is really keeping me in this game, so that's nice. I draw another land, so I play Ember Hauler and immediately sacrifice it to deal 2 damage, which puts a counter on Corvold and draws me another card. This time it's a Love Struck Beast, so I play Arcane Signet, I activate Chandra for more tokens, I make a 1/1 with Heart's Desire, then I attack all out and sacrifice a land because I have plenty of those, get a counter, draw a card, it's a land of course. They go down to 5 and at this point I'm pretty sure that this game is mine. I'm at a fairly healthy life total, they can definitely deal some damage to me, but I think I'm gonna be okay. So second main phase I play Fiend Artisan to seal the deal, I sacrifice the 2 elemental tokens, they get 2 more counters and draw 2 more cards. They stomp, which is ultimately 3 damage to me and 1 to them, and despite drawing a million lands, the sheer value and raw power of Corvold is gonna take me to victory here. I'm a little bit anxious because I know they're gonna deal some damage, it could get pretty crazy, but since we're limited to 3 converted mana cost cards, I'm probably fine. They steal my Fiend Artisan, which is fair enough. Now I'm gonna have to block it with the token. We both take some damage, they are down to 3 life, and oh yeah, I completely forgot the Fiend Artisan actually shrinks, so haha, that's nice. Actually, it's kind of annoying, because now if I block it, I have to kill it. I was hoping to have it next turn, but whatever. They play Feat of Resistance again, because I think Feather does something about spells or something. We both take some damage, they attack, but now all I have to do is, wait, oh wait, no, they get to recast. Wait a second, wait, no, but they're at 1 life. No, guys. And that's how I lost to Feather. I guess I know what it's like to be the 3rd person at the end of the centipede. It's not a fun place to be. It's not a fun place to be. Don't want to be there. Also, I'm still not 100% sure what Feather does. So that was a pretty fast game, and in between rounds I check out the stream. My internet is very terrible and inconsistent, and it's one of those times where I have to watch at an abysmal quality, mostly just to listen to the audio. I mean, if you squint your eyes, you can almost see a live stream happening, but I have it running between rounds and I hear this.
As you can see, everybody, down in the bottom right, that $15 is going straight towards 100% back to you guys. So whoever is going to get top 4 here is going to divide this up nicely. And every time that you guys donate 30,000 pickle points, I donate $10 into that pot.
Yep, that's right. I knew there were going to be prizes. I didn't know what they were. I knew first place was going to get a playmat, and I heard there were going to be arena gem prizes, but I didn't 100% know what the prizes were. And now we know that there's actual money at stake. The stream is taking donations, and 100% of the donations go towards the prize pool. So naturally, I spent a lot of time between rounds encouraging people to donate, which seems like a really cool and altruistic thing to do, which it totally was. But some people might get the impression that I was only doing that to increase the prize pool for my own benefit, but no, that's ridiculous. It was altruistic, guys. I wanted people to donate so the tournament would be cooler. For sure. What are you talking about? I didn't have any personal stake. I mean, granted, I was in the tournament, but guys, God, do not be so pessimistic. I swear, maybe, kind of. Look, don't worry about it. So anyway, I'm 1-1, and it looks like you're gonna have to be 3-1 in order to make it to the finals, which is where the prize money is. So I have to win the next 2 games. Can't go 2-2, gotta go 3-1. So despite my previous failure, I am now on a warpath. And however tight-knit this community may be, with their friendly faces and their welcoming attitudes, and their propensity for helping each other get better at magic, I have decided that I will sow a path of destruction that will leave the landscape scarred for ages to come. I am unstoppable, I am ruthless, I will shake this community to its foundation. They will remember me forever. And that's when I learned that my 3rd round opponent was Buddha Fashion. Come on, are you kidding me? But I want to win though. But I want to win. I just gave this whole speech, but the path of destruction, the scarred landscape. What a bunch of baloney. So I get Mayhem Devil in my opening hand. which is pretty great considering the fact that we're both playing Corvo decks. So I'm keeping this no question. Plus I'm going first, so that's a huge help in a mirror match. So I play Temple, Scry Eliminate to the bottom because I need more lands for Corvold. They play Field of the Dead, which is kind of scary, and why don't I have Field of the Dead? I play a Mountain and a Priest of Forgotten Gods. They play Blight Beetle, which says my creatures can't have... Wait, they can't have counters. But that's like half the point of playing Corvold. That's rude. That's just rude. What, you can't do that. Anyway, I play Mayhem Devil because it's just too good in this matchup, and I swing for 1. They cultivate and get some lands. I play Fabled Passage, sacrifice it to ping the Blight Beetle for 1 to get that off the battlefield because it's a whole bunch of malarkey. Then I play Ember Hauler and Arcane Signet, and I attack for 4. So I'm off to a pretty aggressive start, and I think that's pretty important for this matchup because I'm assuming that their Corvo deck is going to be a little bit more refined, a little bit more sophisticated. They've had more time with it. So my plan is to just go fast, get them dead quick before their deck can really, go off and win through value, because we're both Corvo decks, we're both good at generating value. I just think that theirs is probably going to be better. So just being on the offensive, keeping them on their toes is probably my best chance of winning this. They play a Thrashing Brontodon so they can blow up my Arcane Signet if they want to. Instead of running Corvold out into a potential removal spell, I decide to play Lantern. Then I crack the Goblin, target the Brontodon to force them to sacrifice it now, which they do. They take some damage from the Devil. I play Omen to get Ember Hauler back immediately and recast it. I attack for 4, and now I feel much better set up to take over with Corvold. That turn wasn't the most optimal line, but I was able to stay aggressive, and that's what I wanted to do. Going that aggressively at Brontodon wasn't necessary, but it allowed me to continue to push damage and keep the upper hand on the battlefield, which is where I want to be right now. They play their Corvold and they sacrifice a land, but that allows me to ping them for 1 with the Mayhem Devil. I play my own Corvold, I sack the Omen, I decide to ping Face. In hindsight, I should have pinged Corvold, then played a land, sack the Goblin for 3 more damage, then sack the Lantern to kill Corvold off, but I realize it's too late, so instead I activate Priest, force them to sacrifice their Corvold, I draw some cards, they go to 7, and I play a Gutter Bones, perfect for sacrificing to Corvold. I crack the Lantern for 2 more cards, and I play Traveler's Amulet. So despite that clunky turn, I should have this as long as Corvold lives. The question is, will Corvold live? And the answer is yes. They good game me and concede the following turn, and even though it definitely wasn't perfect, I got through it. I was able to end that game pretty quickly by being aggressive, and I think that was very important in winning that game. So now I am 2-1, and we could actually do this, guys. 2-1, I only need to win the next game to be in the finals. One more game. I mean, I know all the Path of Destruction and Scar the Landscape stuff I was going on earlier may have seemed a little bit excessive when I was only 1-1, but I mean, we're 2-1 now, we're on the path. I am ready to unleash my true powers on these poor, pitiful mortals. They cannot stop me. They can't do it, can't be stopped. Guys, can't be stopped. And even better, guys, my final boss before the finals is playing Mono Green Mowu. We got this. The Path of Destruction is guaranteed. Maybe. My opening hand has all of my colors, so I'm pretty much okay with it. They go first and they lead on Grazer, so that's concerning. We're going to be playing from way behind. They're already going first, and now they're ramping. I shock in a tomb, play Cauldron Familiar, drain for 1. They play a Signet, giving them all the mana on the planet. Holy crap, I was just super aggressive last match, and now I'm going to be on the defense for sure. I get a token with Lovestruck Beast and pass, and there's Mowu. I have a Bedevil, so I just pass, and they play the first Rowan games and get a 1/1 token. Now, I don't know much about Commander, right? I've been saying that. Don't know much about Commander, but I do know that it's inconsiderate to kill people's commanders. It's not illegal, it's not against the rules, but generally speaking, it's bad manners to just kill people's commanders. But remember, Path of Destruction, Scarred Landscape, Pitiful Mortals. So when they cast Titanic Brawl, I respond and absolutely destroy Mowu. No mercy, get wrecked. You can go lick your own butt in hell, Fleabag. I know, what can I say? I'm a real trash talker, guys. Anyway, on my turn, I play Lovestruck Beast to finally have some power on board. They do get their +1/+1 counters from their Saga, but I have an Eliminate in hand for whatever gets the counters, and it's the token, so that thing's gonna die for sure. They play an Evolution Sage, which will let them proliferate a ton, and a Humble Naturalist for more ramp. I unfortunately miss a land drop, so I'm stuck on 3 mana, so that's kind of a pain in the butt. I attack for 5 because I don't think they'll block. They probably want to draw with a Saga, so they do take it, that's nice. And while I could just kill their token now, I'm a terrible person, so I wait for their Saga to trigger on their turn, and then I kill it. I'm a monster. There was no real reason to wait, but you know, gotta give my opponent some hope, and then rip it away. What can I say, I grew up on the streets, guys. Not really. Anyway, I can't draw a 4th land because I'm bad at Magic, but I can still attack for 5 because there's no way they're trading their Mowu, their precious pedigreed Mowu, and they don't. This love-struck beast is really dishing out the beats. They play a Llanowar Visionary, draw a card, then they play the Ozolith, which is pretty spicy with Mowu. Fair enough. They also play a Destiny Spinner, so the opponent is super wide at this point. Gonna be hard to attack through this with my stupid 5/5. Then they attack with Mowu, and I continue to demonstrate what an amoral heathen I am by murdering its face. Get destroyed, Mowu. My turn, I still don't draw a land, because apparently they don't exist in my deck anymore. I attack for 5 because I'm getting really good at that at this point. They chump this time with the Grazer. Second main phase, I played Chevel and pass. They pay 1,000,000 mana for Mowu, and on my upkeep, I put the bounty counter on the Visionary, because then I can kill it with the Goblin in my hand to draw a card, which will also make Mowu harder to recast if I kill it again. I finally draw a land, but it comes into play tapped. I hate my life, screw this crap, Magic is a stupid game. I just want to cast Korvold, so I cast Crater Maker, sacrifice it to kill the elf, and I draw a card. Also, fun note, the bounty counter from Chevel actually goes on the Ozolith, so that's interesting. I draw an Ember Hauler, so I play my Temple, I scry, see a land, definitely keeping that. I attack for 5 because that's what I do now, and pass. On their turn, they play New Horizons, they get 2 counters on Mowu, because that's what Mowu does, and then they play Invigorating Surge, and holy crap, Mowu is officially out of control. Look man, I'm sorry about the lick your butt thing I said earlier. I didn't mean it. We're cool, right? But the convenient thing is they put the bounty counter from Ozolith onto Mowu, so that's handy. And then they attack with everything. And what's nice is Chevel actually has Death Touch, so I block it. They oops, so they must have forgotten. But Mowu dies, so ha, suck that, butt licker. Wait, no, I mean Mowu, not my opponent. I'm sure they don't lick their own butt. I don't know them, but I'm going to assume that. Anyway, I go down to 10 life, but since Mowu had a bounty counter, I gain 3 and I draw a card. On my turn, I shock my land in, attack for 7, and during this time, I'm debating between playing Korvold or Pulsa Marasa to get more life. I can Pulsa Marasa, get 5, play Chevel. So I'm going back and forth between this, and then I realize that I can just win because my opponent's at 2 life. So I just play the Goblin and sacrifice it to deal 2 to the face, and that's it. Oh, I almost didn't see lethal, but there we go. Guys, we're 3-1. We're in. But let's not go too fast. Let's go back into the live stream and relish in our opponent's poor fate.
Uh-oh, no! Sam says they lost! We have our first person eliminated from the top 4. Sam is taken out by Affinity.
You can't go on a path of destruction and not just absolutely destroy a few innocent bystanders, man. It's what it is. Can't do anything about it. But actually, the path of destruction is it's a little bit up in the air. So it turns out there are 5 people with 3-1 records, which means 1 person is not going to make it. And it's not in my hands. I can't do anything about it now. My conquest to shake this Twitch community to its foundation and absolutely obliterate every single member who is a part of it could come to a halt because math. Man, I've never liked math. It's a scam. No way. No one likes math. Only the worst people like math. It's a terrible thing. Should be banned. Hate it. Math is stupid. So anyway, MTG Melee runs its calculation.
Wow. Oh no. Oh no. I can see it on my screen. It's a heartbreak here. It's a heartbreak here. Sinister is gonna get the not quite enough to make it to the top 4.
Math is amazing. Guys, I've always been a fan of math. I highly recommend it. You'd have to be a fool to not see what a valuable asset it is to humanity. Math is great. It's a universal language spoken by every single civilization on the planet. You can divulge the secrets of the universe with math. Great subject, great school of learning, love math. So anyway, I'm guaranteed prize money at this point, but I don't know how much it's going to be because money's being donated during the live stream, right? So who knows how big the prize pool is going to be, but I know I'm walking out of this thing with cash in pocket at this point, which is pretty sweet. And now we continue our conquest and best of 3. Games are going to take longer, but you know, what can I say? They're just delaying the inevitable, I suppose. So my first finals opponent is playing Vivian, so we've got another mono green deck. My hand isn't exciting, but it has colors, so it's cool. They play Almighty Brushwag, the most powerful card in Magic, and I follow it with Cinder Vines, which might do something eventually. I mean, they're in mono green, so maybe not, but I don't know, it's there. They hit for 1, and on my turn I play a Midnight Reaper. They play Yorvo, which is bigger than Midnight Reaper, and I unfortunately have mana problems again, as I can't hit my 4th land. I decide to draw with Profane Insight, and if I hit a swamp I can play it as a Death Touch blocker, which I do. I get a castle, so good enough. Play it, play Foulmire Knight and pass so that Yorvo is kept in check. They play their commander, which conveniently isn't a creature, so they take Cinder Vines damage. They tick up, put counters on their creatures, but you can't see it because I was looking at their deck list. You know, what can I say? I'm a professional. I get back into the game to see I didn't draw my 5th land, so I just play Mayhem Devil and Oven because they're fun together. They play a Blast Zone, which kinda sucks because my Death Touch blocker is a 1-drop. They crack the zone, but that triggers Mayhem Devil, so I ping the Brushwag. Then I sacrifice the Knight to the Oven, since it's going to die anyway, to finish off that stupid Brushwag. My opponent brilliantly responds with a pump spell to save the Brushwag, and then when Blast Zone resolves, it dies anyway because it has 1 converted mana cost, and that's when we both realize that we were both fighting over a Brushwag that was guaranteed to die. So kind of awkward. At least we both made the same mistake. It's fine, guys. I mean, the almighty Brushwag is just too good, guys. You just gotta kill it. You gotta be sure. You don't just kill it once, you kill it twice. Anyway, they use Vivian and Yorvo to kill my dude. They attack. I go to 16. I draw a tap land to go with my other tap land, so I don't get to play Corvold this turn. So I Temple, Scry. Intervention is fine, I guess. It can kill stuff. I kill Vivian by attacking with the Reaper. I Omen to get back Mayhem Devil because I like it too much. Then I play it. They cast a Hybrid Dude and a Thrashing Brontodon. Then they attack with a 7/7 Yorvo. I take it, go to 9, draw the Intervention. I play Evolving Wilds, crack it to ping the Hybrid Dude, get a land. I kill Yorvo with Eliminate. Then I play Chandra, get 2 Elementals, and pass, and at end step I have to sacrifice the Elementals, and that allows me to finish off the Hybrid Dude and ping them for 1. They play this Chimera thingy, they attack Chandra and I let it go, but of course they have a pump spell, so Chandra's gonna die, but at least they take 1 damage, so take that. So now it's time to take over the game with Corvold, because Corvold is insane and my experience so far is kind of broken. I play the Amulet first, crack it, get a land, ping the Chimera thingy, then I play Corvold, sack the Omen, ping for 1, get a counter, draw a card, it's a land. I attack with Devil, but leave the Reaper back just in case I need to block. This is a mono green deck with tons of pumping after all, and I'm a little bit low on life. They escape the Chimera, which is fine. I draw Call of the Death Dweller, which is amazing, and I look at my graveyard and, well, never mind then. So I eat the food to trigger Corvold, I do a damage to the Chimera to teach it who's boss, I draw a Heartless Act, which is pretty nice. I attack with Corvold, sack a land to ping for 1, get a counter, draw a card, finish off the Chimera, draw a land, hit the opponent down to 10, and play a Lantern, exiling the escape creature. They play Vivian, take a point of damage from Cinder Vines, and then they good game and concede. Path of Destruction! You can't stop it. Can't stop it, guys. It's really gonna be sad when this community is no more, but I mean, there's prize money now, guys. I have to do it. Sacrifices have to be made. So game 2 doesn't go well. My opening hand is okay, but not great. I just want more land for Corvold, man. That's all I want. I just want to play Corvold. So I take my free mulligan and draw a hand with the exact same number of lands, just less good ones. But I keep it and draw a not land. I play a swamp, play Gutter Bones, hoping to put in some early pressure. They play a forest and pass, just like I was hoping, so I can attack for 2 and decide to go for a priest. Maybe I can keep their board clear since I'm ahead. I draw a not land again, so I throw Gutter Bones at my opponent and they take it. I play Arcane Signet and Heart's Desire for a 1/1 token. They play Brontodon. My turn I draw a not land, and in hindsight, I could sack my 2 creatures with Priest and power out Corvold to draw cards, but Lovestruck Beast won me the game earlier when I was stuck on land, so I go with that instead. They try to kill my Priest, which takes away my ability to play Corvold, so in response I activate it, make them sacrifice their Chimera thing. I finally draw a land, they do exist, wow. I totally forget to use the free mana, so I'm good at Magic. I mean, remember the Brushwhack incident? Not great. Actually, no, forget the Brushwhack incident. Wipe it from your memories. It didn't happen. Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, they attack for 3, so I block since I can't attack anyway, and they pump naturally. On my turn, I return Lovestruck Beast to my hand because I'm desperate for any power on board at all. I get my token, I play Cauldron Familiar, drain for 1, they play Surfaron, Incubation Druid, and a Mentor Madoot thingy for good measure. They get some counters, attack for 4, and at least my Signet hasn't been blown up yet by the Brontodon because I top deck my 5th land, finally, so I play Corvold and desperately hope it can get me back in this game after not being able to do anything for so long. They get more counters from Vivian, they attack me for a ton of damage, and it's trample, and I decide there's no hope for me, so I just throw Corvold in front of a Surfaron, but of course the last card in their hand is a pump spell, so I proceed to die. Hooray. Good for me. So, it comes down to this. Game 3. This will decide my fate. At least I get to go first, right? My opening hand is actually okay, but I'm a little bit salty after last round and I decide to mulligan aggressively, and I get severely punished with a handful of black cards and no mana to cast anything. Well, crap. I do have a Traveler's Amulet, so it's fine, I guess. I play a Mountain, play Amulet, pass. They have an Ozolith, which is neat. My turn, I draw a not land, play a tap land, crack the Amulet, get a 3rd land, pass. They play Nessian Hornbeetle, I play Shovel. They play a 4 power creature and get a counter, so I can't block the beetle without having my Shovel die, so I just take it. My turn, I put a bounty counter on the beetle. I can draw with Foulmire Knight and then play it as a Death Touch blocker, but instead I play Fiend Artisan. The idea here, the plan is I'll use Shovel as a Death Touch blocker, then I will use Corpse Churn to get him right back. Makes sense. Plus, Corpse Churn will fill the graveyard to make the Fiend Artisan a little bit bigger. So it seems like a good plan, but they play Vivian, kill my Shovel, then they attack for 8, and I throw the Artisan in front of a creature to save some life. End of turn, I use Corpse Churn to get Shovel back, cause now all I want is a removal spell basically. And then I draw a removal spell, which is cool, but more importantly, it's not a land, which is what I really want. So I just play Shovel, pass, because I really want to draw off that bounty counter, but of course they have a Hydra that lets them fight. They kill Shovel, the counters go on the Ozolith, they put counters on the beetle with Vivian, and it gets the Ozolith counters as well, so they hammer me for 9, I draw a not land, and spend the turn killing off the beetle, and I go to 8. They play Heart's Desire and Lovestruck Beast, put tons of counters on the beast, so it's game over. But of course, arenas go to slap me in the face and give me my 5th land now that I'm dead. Fuck. And just to make it worse, the game does last a couple more turns. I play a Death Touch blocker and I put it in front of the Lovestruck Beast and they give it indestructible, so mega fuck. So I didn't win. Technically, I got 3rd place. Now, it was suggested after the round was over that I play the other person who lost their finals match, which was Alonzonator. The idea being that, it's unofficial, off the record, but we can play each other and see who officially gets 3rd place. Now, if you ask Alonzonator, he will probably tell you that we played and that he beat me. And if you go into the Discord, you will see that I am listed as 4th place according to their record. However, you can totally go to the tournament page on MTG Melee, I will link it below, and you could clearly see that I finished 3rd. So, I don't know what he's talking about. I got 3rd, you can see, right there. Look, 3rd place, clear as day, no dispute. I don't know, Alonzonator is a liar, and he's bad at marbles. What can I say? 3rd place, don't listen to anyone else, it's clearly right there, you can see it with your own eyes. So anyway, I won 1,000 gems on Magic Arena, and it turns out the cash prize was split evenly among the top 4. So placing didn't even really matter. Anyway, there were some extra goodies for finishing first and second. I believe first place got a playmat and second got some extra gems. But at the end of the day, we all ended up with $40 cash, which is pretty cool. You know, $40 can buy a lot of milkshakes or a really big milkshake, and who doesn't like milkshakes, man? So that was my experience in the Tiny Leaders Brawliseum. I'm pretty sure everyone within that community now fears my name or something, and you know it is a little bit sad that that community is completely decimated, but you know, hey, it was $40, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, got 1,000 gems, won $40 with a completely untested deck, built it in 20 minutes, and I took 4th place in a format that I've never heard before. Wait, did I say 4th? 3rd place. 3rd place in a format that I've never played before. So I'm a firm believer you should always try to learn from your losses, and you should definitely always learn from the times when you absolutely destroy a Twitch streamer and his entire community. So what we learned is that you don't need to play test your decks, you could totally just run them untested, and you should definitely never consume $40 worth of milkshakes in a single sitting. Don't recommend it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, of course I would highly appreciate it if you liked it and shared it, because these types of videos take forever to record and edit. It's a lot of time invested, so support is appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.